my God, why do I keep forgetting to unmute my mic? It's so annoying. Good morning, Trenches. I'm sorry. I did ask you how your morning was going. Jeez Louise, man. That's so annoying. I might have to edit the video afterwards and put text across the screen like, go to 12 minutes. That is when I start talking. How did your session end yesterday? Get back with this one day shit again. Listen, here's the thing. I think that for people who are trading the way they're supposed to and just typically hit the PA, the profit target on the eval before 7 days, I think it's a good thing. Like, you're just taking away the extra time. However, for gamblers, I mean, it doesn't help them much, but the reality is, like, they were probably gonna gamble anyway. Like, gamblers are gonna gamble no matter if you give them 7 days, 1 day, 2 days. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And part of me feels like that is probably why, other prop firms that tout the 2-day pass or no minimum or whatever, they don't really have a whole lot of success. Like, there was a girl who came in randomly last week like, oh, Apex, I love you, but you need to get your shit together. You're doing this 71% off, and you guys need to have better rates to compete with the other prop firms in the prop firm world and blah, blah, blah. And like I told her, statistical facts are greater than people's opinions. If an end of day drawdown was so great, why haven't the other companies been as successful as Apex has? If their sales are better, why aren't the other companies having better success? If the I think some companies there's like no minimum to get the payout. You could get paid out daily and not have to wait 10 trading days. Like, if all of these things were so great, other companies would be as successful. The last video that they put out with the previous 80% off sale and 1 day pass, they were showing how, and of course you have to take the stats with a grain of salt, but I mean, I don't see why they would lie, but Apex has paid out more in the last 90 days than the next competitor has, like, over the last 6 months. Wait, no. When you took how much the average was on a weekly basis based off of what they paid out over the last 90 days, it's more in a week than the next competitor has paid out over the last 6 months. So if all these things were so great, the stats would show that, right? Now, for me, when it comes to the 1 day pass thing, like, first of all, people need to think. This is a business, right? Yesterday afternoon went terrible for me, but you're green today. Hey, we're making up for it. We're making up for it. The afternoon, I can't believe that you traded the afternoon after looking like look at the morning. But I can't say that I did check it. We broke out of that overnight high and low range, like, I think at 2:00 in the afternoon. That was ridiculous. But yeah, for me, like, this is a business, and I can tell that a lot of people have never had businesses before or like been close to people who've had businesses. You have to pay attention to when they time these things. You can say all you want that you're doing this to celebrate this milestone or whatever. They purposely put out the 1 day pass when you are no longer qualified to get to the next payout, right? So they announced it yesterday. When you look at a calendar, 10 trading days would be February 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. 10 trading days would be January 6th. So what does that tell you? They purposely put it out because they know that there's nothing. Let me put it over here. So they put it out yesterday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They put it out yesterday to go for the rest of the month because they know that even if you get this thing passed and you get into a PA, there's nothing that you could do until the 15th to 20th. Nothing. There's literally nothing you could do. And I mean, it's smart on their behalf. Hey, it is what it is. But I just want people to think. Like, just think. There's no reason to rush anything. It's clear that they are always running sales. I remember when 50% was the best that you could get. That's all you could get, you know? So even 71% to me is fine. If I need an account at that time, I'll do the 71%. It's no big deal. I don't need to wait for 80 or 90 now. Of course, I probably would wait for 80. 90, I don't know why there's people like, I'm not buying another account until I see a 90% off sale. Okay, well, good luck. That must mean that you don't need the accounts then. Because the likelihood of that happening is very slim to none. So, good luck. But, yeah, people just don't think at all. I will say that aside from the 1 day pass, I do believe that, you know, if you need accounts at the time that they run an 80% off sale where the monthly is 80% as well, absolutely you should take advantage of it. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Because even if you have PAs and you fail them, you'll get 80% off the first month, but then it goes to, 50% a month? That ain't worth it at all. That is not worth it. But yeah, I just want people to think. That's it. That's all I want people to do. Just pay attention to the timing of things. But again, this is a business. And if you need accounts, this is a really good time to load up. But if you don't need accounts, I saw somebody saying, oh yeah, I'm about to go buy 20 accounts. Okay. I'm working with the same 5 accounts I've had for, I can't even tell you how long. And I will continue to work with these same accounts. So we're playing around this resistance level here. This is my 3rd resistance level. So we've expanded out pretty far from the major support and resistance levels. I'm glad I didn't take this particular sale because I would have gotten to 1 tick from my take profit and went straight back to the break even. It didn't really follow my rules anyway, but if this was like the major resistance level, the first one, I would have definitely taken it though. It's just a contradiction to me on what they say they stand for. Yeah, I agree with that because you don't want gamblers and you don't want YOLOers and all these other things. But the reality is they promote that with the fact that there practically are no rules with the eval versus the PA. However, like I told someone else, you do have to also remember that a lot of what they do on the PA side, as far as going through accounts and stuff, it's manual. And there's no way that I would hire all of these people to manually audit the evals in the way that they do PAs. From a business standpoint, that wouldn't even make sense, especially because what is it? I think on the website it says like about 43% of people pass evals, but then when you go from the eval to the payout stage, that number drops significantly. And then from payout to payout, you know, you have a lot of people that don't get payouts on a consistent basis, or they got one and they never got another one and things like that. But I also just feel like of course they do certain things from a business aspect, but I also feel like they're just giving people what they want. You know, all these people want a 1 day pass, and then you have all these people who you know, they know what the rules are from eval to PA, and they'll still do crazy things. So it's like, give the people what they want. I would. Because why lose business because I see a bunch of y'all want this freaking 2-day pass. Like, oh, everything about your company is so great, except it takes me 7 days to pass your eval. Well, you know where? Here's the 2-day pass. Because no matter what I want you to do, if the vast majority of my audience and my customers want this particular thing, just freaking give it to them. Because if they don't give you the money, they're just going to give the other. They're just going to. These are the same people that are going to waste their money no matter where they go. No matter what. No matter what. It's just people and their habits, and they're not going to change them. They're not. And, you know, as I've told people before, like, I've had people ask me, like, how have you never gone on tilt? Because I've been doing this off and on for 10 years, okay? I have lost enough real money to not go on tilt with fake money. Okay? Because if my goal is to reach a certain level, you know, and get payouts of real money from these simulated accounts, I'm not finna go on tilt. What's wrong with you? This was another buy that I could have taken. I'm just not used to taking these just yet. This is something that I have to back test and practice a little bit more. And it was like, so it's divergence at my minor level, which I just started doing recently. Good morning. You look so handsome this morning. I like your outfit. Can I have a hug? Yeah. Can TT have a hug? Oh my goodness, you giving me a hug. Thank you. Can I have a kiss? Give me a kiss on my cheek. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Thank you.
Thank you. Mora's knocked out, so I was telling Mama I haven't given her no cough medicine because she's sleeping without coughing, so I didn't really want to wake her up because she's been coughing all night. Yeah. So yeah. And then Cohen started coughing this morning, but he was kind of like grab a little bit of mucus. But they make a big deal about him being late and not being in school, so I said, well, send him to school, and if you go up there, they can call us.
Exactly.
They want him to be there. Because even when I had COVID, they were, no, you shouldn't. I said, no mask. No, we'll keep an eye on it. Okay. That's probably how I got COVID right here.
Exactly. Love you too, baby. Be safe. Yeah, sorry. So this particular trade is just something that I have to test a little bit more. I honestly would have taken it if it didn't come off of my resistance level up here first, except the volume did show that it should have supported it anyway. So I could have taken it, but anything that I like just added, if there's anything that makes me question it, I just won't take it, to be honest with you. It's I don't want to risk it because I'm not used to taking it yet. And my apologies, my 2-year-old nephew is here now, so you know he likes to be loud. Yes, ma'am. Okay, perfect. Thank you, baby. But yeah, that would have been a really, really nice buy. But yeah, the previous, let me see if I can mark it on the chart. So the previous swing was here. So you could see that the swing wicked off of the resistance level here. And then we created the higher low. That would have been a really nice trade. But that's okay. Stuff like that doesn't bother me missing. It's when I miss like my obvious setups. That's been my setup for a long time. Because I remember when I first started backtesting and creating this strategy, I was trying to figure out how to take the divergence trades at my minor level. And I just couldn't figure it out. Now I gotta figure it out. So, yes, baby. Can you get further on the bed so you don't fall off? Get further into the bed, baby. I don't want you to fall off. Go up in there. Yeah, go all the way in there. Good job. Thank you. So that was what, 2 trades that see. I like to write notes on my chart so I can go back and look at them later. That's where mine is, I think. All right, so we are taking out the session high again. What you watching? Hey, little boy, go to bed. Kids sure know how to ignore you. He know he hear me. Apparently my niece is still sleeping. She was up coughing all night. All right, what is that? 12:26. Oh, it's snooze right now though. All right, so I can resume trading and I have a 1 bar pullback setting up. However, I'm not going to take it because the reversal down, and it's probably going to win and it'll piss me off a little bit, but the reversal down from the new session high, the bar closed during like my stay out of news time. And so anytime we have news, I don't start trading until after the first swing, or no, after the first reversal bar paints after the time that I have to stay out of news. So I need a reversal bar up to paint first, and then I'll be able to resume trading again. Even though this did absolutely nothing, that is just the rules that I have for myself, because it not doing anything is like not really quantifiable. Because okay, if it's a high impact news event and maybe it doesn't move like other high impact news events, but it still moved a little bit, you know, or maybe it didn't move at all, but still whatever volume that came after 9:30 is what pushed this down. So I just can't trade it. I definitely would have gotten fields. And I think it just hit my, nope. See, I would have broken even anyway. It literally came 1 tick from hitting my take profit. Hit the VWAP and started pushing down a little bit. And I've kind of had that happen a lot. I definitely know I want to look at like having a trailing stop, but not anything crazy. It's just once I get 1 tick from my take profit, just moving my stop loss to maybe like, I don't know, maybe 10 ticks in profit or something. I don't know, just something, because most of the time if it's gonna reverse 1 tick away from my take profit, it's going to, you know, create a full reversal bar. So I might as well get something out of it. It's very rare that it comes 1 tick from hitting my take profit, comes back to break even, or even comes down like 10 ticks and then goes back in the same direction. So that is something that I am going to think about. NQ target area is 17,753. Let's see. I'll put a little line there. See if we can at least get there to where I could see it happen during my session, because I only got an hour and a half left. All right, I put a little line there. Let me change the color though, so I don't think it's something that I put on my chart for a different reason. I'll make it cyan. There we go. How are you doing this morning, Vincey? You want a pillow behind you? Want a pillow? Oh, wait a minute. It's too high for your head. There we go. Let's do that one. And we'll put a pillow right here. See, you don't even have to hold it. See? Look. Boom. Excuse me. Got an hour and a half left. Having issues with APEC lag as always though, but you're doing great. Well, it's good that you're doing great. What's your have you put a data lag timer on your chart like you see up here? Have you done that yet to see what the lag is? I mean, I know on the Rhythmic app you can also check it too, but you definitely want the lag to be as little as possible, especially if you use market orders or you scalp. That's like the most important. Even though I scalp, I use limit orders, so even if the lag is like a little bit more than what I like, more than 0.05 seconds, usually the only time the lag like really affects me is if my entry reversal bar just happens so fast that the next bar closes before the you want to watch Paw Patrol? You don't want to watch that? Okay. Yeah, sometimes it just happens too fast to hit my entry, and it's only because of the lag. But aside from that, I'm usually okay. All right, I have a counter trend move happening here. Let's see what happens. If not, I can get back into a buy going the other way. Not happy with how it just pushed back above the VWAP. That wasn't cute. What did you say? Oh, Paw Patrol. Here, baby. Here. You have no connections with your top up. Oh, you have no. A lot of people say that they don't have issues with other prop firms, but they have issues with Apex, and I feel like I shouldn't be looking for shorts. Well, that's just my strategy. I have counter trend strategies, so I take them, and sometimes they lose and sometimes they win. And even when I'm going with the trend, sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. I think that other companies don't have the issues when Apex does, because Apex has way more traders, so their servers are overloaded to me. I don't think that Rhythmic can handle the volume that Apex provides them personally, but that's just my opinion. Just my opinion. Because in the 4 years that almost 5 years that I've been trading on NinjaTrader, I always had a CQG connection, and I've never dealt with any of the issues that I deal with Apex. So good morning, Mid Consult. No, I do not trade ES ever. ES makes my head hurts. I think the last time I traded ES was probably last spring. I used to trade ES, Nasdaq, Dow, crude oil, gold, Russell 2000. I think those were all the ones that I traded. And of all of those, ES was the one that I hated the most. I just there's a lot of volume and no movement, so I'm not a fan. And then I just got rid of all the other ones, because with the Nasdaq being the one that has the most volatility, I just feel like if you can master the Nasdaq, then you don't really need to trade a whole bunch of other stuff, especially if you scalp, which I do. So I get more than enough entries most times, so it really makes no sense for me to trade anything else. If I was to ever add anything back, it would be the Russell 2000. That would probably be the only thing that I would trade on top of the Nasdaq. Nothing else though. I used to really love gold and crude oil, and no, not anymore. Yep, I got your target up there, the blue. So now I'm up 2K on my 50K valuation and 1K on my nice. Very nice. Totally agree about trading a single market. Yeah, I know people who like to trade a bunch of different stuff, and I think if you scalp, then it makes sense for you to trade one, maybe two. But if you're somebody who like uses, what is the popular one, like ICT concepts and stuff like that, where you might not really get very many setups, then I can understand trading multiple markets. But I also feel like if you could be a master of one or two, you don't need to have a whole bunch of charts open. It just leaves the door open for, forgetting that this particular instrument has this particular pattern, and I don't know. It's not my thing. It's just not. There's your target. I now have a fourth account. My friend is buying accounts after he said he's not. Yep, your target was hit. NQ is great for scalping. You started on ES, went to NQ, now you're back to ES. What made you go back to ES? Was it the struggle of trying to figure out the Nasdaq? Because I've been trying to master the Nasdaq for a nice little while now, and it just takes time, which I have nothing but time at this point. So I'm not too bothered. Like, I never really get super frustrated, because I just feel like it kind of is what it is. You just have to learn it, and it takes time to master this stuff. Like, it just does. And it's okay. So that's another counter trend move. Like I said, my counter trend moves are usually just fine. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. It just is what it is. But yeah, things just take time. Like, I know people who trade the Nasdaq and they feel like it has no consistent patterns at all, and it just moves like a crackhead, and there's no way to master it, and you just have to take what you take from it. And I don't believe that, but I also know that they trade time-based charts, and sometimes that's what it looks like on time-based charts. But, you know, it just kind of is what it is. You just got to figure things out the best way that you can for yourself. Like, every strategy doesn't work for every person. You have to, certain strategies take a certain personality and things like that. Like, it just kind of is what it is. You just got to do what you got to do. But yeah, this for me is a 1 bar pullback, which you have to deal with different trading programs running at different times. What do you mean, different trading programs? The other thing that, for me is just wanting a tighter stop, which doesn't work all the time. It kind of is like, I get stopped out to the tick a lot, but I don't want to say a lot, a couple of times a week. Like this, if this goes up from here, it stopped me out to the tick. But where I have my stop loss is just based on back testing. So for me, it's like, I'll figure it out how I want to best figure it out. I've traded a bunch of different ways. I just started trading this way, like more volume based, right before Christmas. So I'm giving myself a couple of months from, what is that, December, to like make whatever tweaks I need to make. Because these things take time. It's okay. It violates those patterns more often than the ES. Absolutely. Because the ES moves like a snail. For me, I'm only trading 2.5 hours a day, right? So I need to be able to maximize my profit in that particular amount of time as best as I can. And I cannot do that if I'm only getting maybe one setup, if that, in a 2.5 hour time span. That I can't do that because I don't want to be on the charts all day. I know some people are okay with doing that. For me, if I'm going to be on the charts for 8 hours, I might as well just go back to being a nurse and go back to a job. Because I want to buy my time back, and I can't buy my time back by putting in the same exact amount of time on the charts to reach whatever financial or trading goals that I have, right? So I take the good with the bad. You're going to have some bad days, you're going to have some good days, and what matters to me is where everything averages out over time. Because for as long as I've been trading, I have not always traded the Nasdaq. I have not always traded futures, and I actually used to more so like intraday swing. I was just taking all of the thousands of pictures and videos off of my phone a couple of days ago. So as the app was like pulling stuff off, it was showing me, trades that I was taking back then, and I was pretty consistently profitable. I just didn't like intraday swinging. That's not something that I like doing. I don't. No. First of all, I'm about to give you my phone because you don't know how to stop clicking ads on your oh, I can't take that trade. Why don't they have an ability to why isn't there an actual app? No, I don't want you to have my phone. I want my phone. Why isn't there an actual app? I don't understand. Why do this for a tablet for kids? They use trading AI programs, not human traders. Different programs are designed to do different things. You have to learn to spot the difference during the first 15 to 30 minutes of the open. To be honest with you, I trade the best in the first 15 to 30 minutes. It's after then that it's like, yeah. Like my first trade, almost all the time, my very first trade, if it happens in the first, I would say 5 to 10 minutes of the market open, I'll win. Like this morning, my very first trade was at 8:31 this morning. A minute after market open, I won. And it's just been downhill since. This app is trying to open on me, but continue. It can be less. Oh no. Forgot that level was there. NQ has a lot of great scalps. ES is for more yeah, definitely more for intraday swings. Definitely. Definitely. But yeah, everybody, has their different ways of trading. And the most important thing is that you just find something that works for you. That's it. I have friends that are very successful trading, and I've purchased their courses. I've tried to learn from them, and the way that they trade just doesn't work for me at all. The more subjective something is with analyzing and all of that stuff, I'm an overthinker and an overanalyzer. So if you don't have something that I can just trade like a robot, like, hey, if it looks like this every single time, take it, then it's not gonna work for me. If I have to draw different levels and you would draw levels different than I would, and yeah, it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't. But again, that's just for me personally. Right now, I just use these accounts to test my strategy, to figure out how I want it to be, and test it in all the different markets. Yeah, you could trade sim, but the sim, and I know that there are some third-party applications that can help you like create a fake trail and drawdown. The only reason I didn't really like that trade much is because of that how it went off of the VWAP. But yeah, like I want to be able to trade it with the trail and drawdown and figure things out from there. Now, for that last trade, that is one I don't think I actually shouldn't. All the other ones that I lost, I'm cool with losing those. That one in particular though, the only reason I really didn't like that trade is how it pushed off of the VWAP first. But yeah, it's all good. Let's see. But yeah, I used to trade like the ZB markets and TN and like all the bond markets. At some point, I used to trade. That was a while ago, like some years ago though. But yeah, I used to make really decent money intraday swinging. I've traded binary options before. I've traded Forex. I absolutely hate Forex. Forex is like the bane of my existence. I hate it. I'm just not a fan of currency pairs at all. And, you know, I know some people who trade like CFDs and stuff or whatever. And it's like, by the time you do that with the trash spreads, you might as well just trade futures. Why not? I just personally don't understand why you just don't trade futures. All right, that just hit my major level up there and started reversing. And let's see if it can hold though. My overall bias is an uptrend, so this was just a really deep pullback with divergence to attempt to continue up. We'll see if it can push past my major level here. And it did. All right, cool. Can we get a full TP or are we going to get a break even? Probably a break even. But yeah. 934. But yeah, if I could just trade the first like 10 minutes of a market opening and just be done with my day, I absolutely would. And it's not, I don't do like open range, or because I know some people do like, I guess they call it open range, but they just basically put entries above and below where the market is right before market open, and they just kind of take trades from there. Excuse me. And it works for them. But I don't know. Where is that? 22. That's a double bottom. Taking a buy off the double bottom down here. I like the fact that we have more movement than we have the last 2 days, but the patterns I'm used to seeing are not really popping up today. Kind of is what it is. Before today, I was down like $30 per account for the week. So as long as I can end the week positive, that's all I care about. A little bit of progress every week. We came up and hit my major level up there and reversing again like we just did on the last trade. So let's see if we can actually push past it or not. And I'll be right back. You gonna fall off the bed. You're gonna fall off the bed. It just created a double top here, so I might not be able to push through, but I can't get out of the trade, so. There's a rotation level that just created at 38. Hopefully we can just push past it. I only need one more tick past the high of right here. Okay. Jesus. I'm at down 260 per account. Oh, it's after 10 o'clock. Okay. Yes. All right. So, market is gonna slow down. And we'll see if we can get any more trades. I'm really starting to get to the point of not wanting to trade after 10 o'clock. Because the way that the market just slows down is kind of annoying. But I do get pretty good setups sometimes after 10 o'clock. So that's why I keep trading it. For now, at least. It's not what I wanted to open. So it is supposed to be more. Where's my pen? Alright, since things are starting to slow down, break of this small range can drop down to 17,720. I'm gonna start filling out my trade journal. So I won't have time to do it after I get off the charts. A second. I need to get caught up on my online trade journal, going through and categorizing my trades like based on whatever strategies, and then I also need to catch up on my Excel spreadsheet that I use. So that's kind of the only way because I'm done I'm over back testing. I'm not back testing nothing else. So that's kind of like my only way in real time to see what adjustments I need to make. So I need to catch up on those. I'll probably do that later on this evening after I get the kids settled. One bar pullback here. So Mig, do you only trade the Nasdaq? I mean, do you only trade the ES, or do you trade anything else with the ES? And do you guys look at other stuff? Like, I know some people who trade the Nasdaq will look at ES, or they'll look at like certain stocks that are inside of the Nasdaq and things like that. I personally don't do that, but I know a lot of people who do. And I understand why they do, but I just know the more stuff I have, the more I just won't trade. Because everything will invalidate. I could find something to invalidate a trade every single time. So alright, my bias is going to change to a downtrend at 708.75. Those are back in order. So resistance level there. Just the ES. Understandable. Especially if you could get the whatever you're looking for in particular to trade, as long as you can get your setups at least, I would say 4 times a week. Then you're good to go. I just don't like feeling like I'm just sitting here and there's nothing happening, which is always what I feel like when I'm looking at other markets. It's like watching paint dry. Market is propelled by mega cap tech stock, which is what NQ is comprised of. Exactly. But you know, you have some people that'll be like, oh, well, it's moving like the ES, is just in bigger movements. And I'm like, if you see the correlation, fine. I personally don't. Because by the time the ES made that one move, the Nasdaq has made 20. 817. Alright, so we gotta pull back here. Trying to see what it's gonna do off of this level here. To me, they move, taking a single contract here. To me, they move exactly the same. NQ will hit my stop and ES won't on the same trade. But that's just because the Nasdaq just has more volatility. You have more volume in the ES, but the volatility is more on the Nasdaq. So it could just be that your stop is too tight, possibly. Oh, I definitely just missed that. The volume push just came out of nowhere. It's too fast for me to get into it. But I should have been in that trade though. And it just hit my level to break even, so it looks like I would have broken even anyway. All right. When I miss the ones that just break even, it's like whatever. Your answer is algorithm, but you know there's a lot of opinions. There's no opinion, there's only facts. I hear you. Well, Meg, the way I see it, I just only feel like, you know, even if the Nasdaq is moving the exact same way as the ES, it's more volatile because it's less liquid. So you're gonna see the bigger moves there. I think that the ES moves pretty smooth for the most part, especially depending on how you trade it. It just is slow to me. And I just like to be in and out. Like, I don't want to be in a trade for 20 minutes. And there's been a couple of times where I've been in a 6-point scalp on the Nasdaq, especially like a couple of weeks ago. There was a couple of trades that I was in for like 10 minutes and I'm like, bro, this is 6 points we're talking about here. But that's just because I'm used to like in and out in like 30 seconds. I just don't want to be in trades for very long. But that's just my personal preference. All right, we have 45 minutes left. Depending on how things look, I might be able to get some more trades in. As long as it doesn't come back above this resistance level and just start coming all up in here, I'll be all right. Huh? What do you want? What do you want? What you want to watch? What you want to watch? Coco Melon what? Kids. It's what it's made up of. The 10 biggest companies in the world are in the NQ. Yes, I get that. However, what I'm saying is it's more volatile than the ES. While he's looking at the ES at the same time, it's illiquid. $856, $833. But yes, I do understand what the Nasdaq is comprised of. I get all of that. Trust me. 856, 833. Oh, she sounds bad. 833. I gave you Cocoa Melon earlier and you changed it to something else. I need to clean your screen. This is gross. It's so nasty. I bet you that came one tick from 94.25. That came like 2 ticks from hitting my take profit. Whoa, I'm still in a trade. This is why I have my positions tab open and not the accounts tab. I was still in that trade and I wouldn't have known until I just looked at here. My follower account was still in that trade, so it actually just hit the take profit. Where are you going? Okay, bye. ES isn't moving the market, the Nasdaq is, and that's why it gets all the attention. Alright, let me go back to my positions tab because that will drive me crazy. If that would have hit my stop loss, I would have been pissed off. I don't even understand how I got out of the follower, the leader, but not the follower anyway. I guess maybe the way it just pushed up so fast, I don't know, but this is why you keep your positions tab open and not the accounts tab. Yes, baby. You can't eat that in here. Go in the kitchen. Go in the kitchen, baby. Okay, go in the kitchen with your yogurt. Go ahead. Go give it to mama. Here, take this too. Take all this. Here. Okay. Uh-oh. Ooh. I don't think, yeah, nobody's disagreeing that NQ is leading the market. I agree that it is. All right, I don't like that rotation level, so you had to end up buying the Replicanto copier. What issues were you having with the Apex copier? Well, I don't typically have issues with the Apex copier, but that's probably because I use the older version. Like, when they updated it and had all these really big red X's and big red flattened all buttons, and I just went back to the old one because it gave me anxiety seeing all that red on my screen. So yeah, and I didn't need the features of that. And plus, I don't. They are the same people who tell you don't update NinjaTrader right when it comes out because it could be buggy. Don't update till we tell you to. Well, your stuff can be buggy too, and it is. Like I know people who were saying like it would just turn off the followers at for no reason and just different things like that. Are you hiding from Mama? Are you hiding? um, but yeah, I know recently they came out with another new version. I just have no reason to upgrade until it forces me to. I mean, I'm still using an old version of NinjaTrader, which I want to upgrade because I really want to use CQG data instead of Rhythmic because I think Rhythmic data is absolute trash. However, every time I update, and this has been happening since last summer, every time I update, my platform freezes really, really bad. So I tried to upgrade again, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, and still same thing, freezing. So I had to downgrade again. And it's pretty annoying because I can't figure out what is it that's causing it to freeze like that. No, you have to eat your Pop-Tarts in the kitchen. Okay? So take it in the kitchen with Mama and ask her to open it. Here, take your tablet with you so you can watch your tablet. Hold on, let me turn it on. Here. Ask Mama to open it. Okay, you can open it, but go in the kitchen.
You have to stay in the kitchen.
Go in the. You can open it.
You have to sit at the table.
Open it. You're fine. You can open it, but you need to go eat it in the kitchen.
Come on, eat it in the kitchen. Come on. You can't eat it in the bed. Come on, let me help you.
Give me 1 second. Mama can open it. Being mean. I'm opening it.
You're not gonna get it in the bed.
Go in the kitchen. Kitchen.
Come on.
Go sit at the table. See? This is why I didn't let you open it. Let's go. Let's go. All right, sorry, you guys. Jesus, I don't know why my nephew just don't listen. All right, let's see. You're gonna stick with 3 micros. You tried to size up yesterday and got wrecked today. You back in business. Wait, you got wrecked today? I thought you were up today. What happened? What charts do I analyze NQ with? I use Renko charts. I only have a 5-minute or 5-second chart up here because that's the best way to see the structure of what I'm looking at. And because there aren't a lot of Renko traders on YouTube, and also because, you know, it for me not having the actual chart that I trade off of on the screen, it helps me with the whole this is not financial advice, don't take trades that I take, you could lose money, that kind of thing. So I just enter, you'll see it on the screen as that. But I use Renko charts. I use a 20 and 2 Renko chart. I don't like time-based charts. I don't like tick charts. I don't like any of that. I use Renkos. Oh, today you're back in business. Okay, so today you went back to your 3 micros. Good. Different fills, having to keep the positions tab open, not getting out of certain trades. Also, the copier doesn't have the option to copy other connections, and it's the same price as Replicante. Oh, okay. I think that no matter what copier you use, you should just keep the positions tab open. And it's, I think that they said Daryl Martin had tagged me in a comment in one of the groups a couple of days ago about the copier, and it was because I was explaining to people that like people will say like, oh, the copier isn't working properly because it put me in an opposite trade. But I had to remind people that the copier doesn't know if this is your entry or like, it's just copying orders. So if your follower doesn't get put into the trade with your leader, then your leader's exit is going to be your follower's entry. And a lot of copiers do that. The only way to really circumvent that is to make the followers always be market orders. However, if you scalp, you can kind of screw yourself with that, especially if you scalp, you have a data lag on top of that and things like that. You can screw yourself by having market orders all the time. I personally rather just have the limit orders, and if I don't get put into the trade, you know, I always look at my positions tab. I've only been using this accounts tab for like a couple weeks because I just been not even thinking about it. And also because at one point, instead of having Rhythmic's P&L up on my screen, I had the accounts tab from NinjaTrader. So when I switched to Rhythmic on the screen, then it was better for me. I can switch back to the positions tab there. But I think that Daryl Martin said that whatever update that they just did to the Apex copier should have fixed that. But I think you should always have the positions tab open because you really just never know. And then you should also always check your orders tab to make sure you don't have any working orders, you know, when you get off of the charts as well. Because I know some people who will be done trading and they'll keep their charts open and they don't realize they have a working order and they come back and their account is blown. But yeah. You trade Rinko also, but you need to analyze the market. No, I wouldn't say I need to do anything. I don't think anybody needs to do anything. There's not a need for anything. That's just me personally. People analyze the market differently. Even if I looked at a time-based chart, I'm not going to analyze it the exact same way that you or anybody else analyzes a time chart because we see things differently. So even if I had a time chart up, what is that going to do for me if I analyze it different than you do? It's not going to do anything. It's not. I have VWAPs, I have support and resistance levels. I have different things on my chart to try to help me to analyze the market a certain way. And what works for you might not work for me, and what works for me might not work for you. Like it's all person based. It's based on what works for you specifically. And that's just how I feel. Time-based charts just doesn't work for everybody. My friend, she scalps on 5-minute charts and she's very successful. And what she sees on a 5-minute chart, I don't see. And it doesn't matter how many one-on-ones I've had with her. Doesn't matter how many times I've gone through her course. I don't see a 5-minute chart the way that she does. So if I had a 5-minute chart up on my screen, what would it do for me? Nothing. Because where she draws her levels on a 5-minute chart, I don't see the levels that way. I see more levels or I see less levels. So yeah, I don't believe that you need to do anything. Like I can tell people that I think you need to trade a Rinko chart, but if they're successful or if what works for them is a time-based chart, why would I tell them that they need a Rinko chart? Do I believe that Rinko charts show the best price action? Absolutely. But even with Rinkos, a setting that I feel like I like best might not be the setting that you feel like you like best. That's why there's so many ways for you to set the Rinko charts. You know, you could use a 20-2, a 16-2, a 10-1, a 12-4 is something I see that's popular. A 20-1 is something that I see is popular. And every single setting that you use, whether it's a time-based chart, a tick-based chart, a Rinko-based chart, there's so many different settings because you can see the market in so many different ways. You might feel like, hey, you have to analyze on a 30-minute chart, and somebody else will tell you have to analyze on a 1-hour chart, or you need to look at a daily chart. It's just in how you see the market personally. Understandable. Understandable. I know very few people who even use Rinkos, period. Whether they're successful or not, most people don't even use Rinkos at all. I personally prefer Rinkos though. I always have. Even though all the success that I've had over the years was using time-based charts, I don't like time-based charts. All right, it's 10:30. The way that my levels are looking right now, I probably won't get any more trades in at all, which would be fine with me. I'm just glad we had some movement today because the first 2 days of the week we did not. Well, Monday wasn't too bad, honestly. Yesterday was horrible. I only had the one trade and that was that, so. Alright, that is a pin bar there. I need to go get my niece some medicine. She sounds terrible. Looking at the market with Rinkos only is having a microscopic view. You'll miss the big picture. You're absolutely correct, and I've said that in different videos, and I'm absolutely okay with it. Because if I'm scalping 6 points, I don't need to see the bigger picture. I don't. But that's just my personal opinion. You have yours, and I have mine. And that's okay. I'll be right back. I have to give my niece medicine. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I hope you don't take offense. I'm not trying to be offensive, but I'm a very straightforward person, and yeah. It just is what it is. I don't think that you're wrong. I don't think that I'm wrong. I think that everything is different for different people, and that's just that. I can't even find the little thing to give her the medicine, so I'm gonna have to wait. All right, let's see. I stayed out of this trade for a certain reason. Then it just hit this rotation level and created a double bottom, so. And that was why I stayed out. New record? What's the new record? Man, she sounds so bad. Why does it? Yeah, I could pretty much tell I'm not getting any more entries today. Wait, what was I looking for? Oh, all these people stick in my house. Hi, baby. Did you just get in trouble? Hmm? Did you just get in trouble? What? But where's your tablet? Well, go get your tablet. Thank you. Good job. Thank you. What are you doing? Oh, she just got up to go to the bathroom. 63. Bless you, baby. Good morning. How you feeling? Okay. Where you going? Oh wait, I do not want that. Take it off. Yes, baby. Good morning, future. It's going okay. I'm really only down because my counter trend trades today failed me. I think I lost twice with that. Then there was another trade that I actually shouldn't have gotten into. So if you take away those, I would be positive for the day. But counter trend works sometimes and doesn't others. And just like trading with the trend works sometimes and other times it doesn't. How are you this morning? How are you doing? Stop clicking stuff. I'm just glad we actually got some movement today. Yeah, I'm like so close to just not trading after 10 o'clock anymore. It's so annoying. Have I taken the No. So at one point I was telling one of my longtime friends that like, oh, you know, if I can't develop a strategy on my own by like a certain time that I would take the sniper class. And I'm well past that time span that I gave myself. Uh but the only reason why I just haven't taken the class yet is because I don't know. I know that there are some people that are successful with it, but I don't really see very many people talk about it that much. And you have to understand that over a 10-year period of me doing this off and on, way more off and on, of course, but I've spent a pretty penny on courses, and I get that it's free, and then $1 and then $200 a month from there. And then a lot of people that I've seen who have taken it, like eventually they don't even use the sniper system anymore. Like they'll just say, oh, you know, well, it helped me to become a better trader, or it helped me to learn that scalping is best for me, or, you know, it helped me to look at this particular market a little bit different. But most people that I've seen take the course, they don't even use the sniper charts anymore. So I think like that's the other thing. Yeah, counter trends can be rough. And it was a counter trend trade off of the new session high. I think both times. So just is what it is. I'm not bothered. This is why I'm transparent when it comes to my journey, because no matter what, once I get where I want to be, I'm going to be able to look back at this stuff and like, yo, that really irritated me, but look where I am now. That's just the way I see it. And then, like I was saying earlier, I need to really catch up on my online journal and also my Excel spreadsheet, because at this point I'm done back testing. Like, I'm not back testing anymore. So I kind of need the real-time data to show me like if there's a certain pattern that I'm losing with that I need to pay attention to, and maybe not necessarily completely get rid of the setup, but sometimes I need to just make like little minor adjustments, and that's okay. What is that? 4-7. I'm not taking that sale. I'm not a fan of that one. But yeah. Counter trend usually for me is pretty decent. But it just wasn't today, and that's perfectly fine with me. Finally green this week after dry action these past couple of days. Listen. I had one setup yesterday. That was it. That was insane to me. You haven't either. You're in Red Panda and still haven't gotten any. Okay, so trenches, I'm going to comment on that in just a second. Please stay tuned. You've been streaming as well for journaling. It really helps out. Yeah. I think so. This isn't my first like YouTube rodeo. I have another channel that has over 18,000 subscribers that I just completely abandoned because I got tired of making budgeting content. Like, once I became debt free 6 years ago, I was just like, why do I want to talk about this stuff anymore? I've clearly shown you that I know how to do it, and I've done it, and I don't want to talk about it no more. I am going to eventually get back to that channel, but this isn't my first rodeo. The only thing I don't like about, I guess, streaming with this stuff is that I feel like sometimes people forget that most people who are streaming on YouTube are just sharing their journey with whatever it is, whether it's their fitness journey, their trading journey, whatever. It's not that I'm not open to advice, because I am, but I also need people to understand this. I'm not new. I'm new to trading the way that I'm trading right now. But that's because I wanted to develop a strategy that works for me. I know the ins and outs of a lot of stuff. If you ever see me in the Discord, I can answer people's questions very easily with certain stuff. Hey, look into this, look at that. This is what you're looking for. Boom, cool. But I'm just here to share my journey. That's it. Whether it be good or bad. I could easily be one of those people, because there's a lot of people out here that are like this on YouTube who never shows my losses, who just sits here. Like, there's certain YouTubers who will trade live and they'll just sit here and talk about the market for the whole 2 hours. You never see them in a trade or anything, but they'll put out a summary later only if they're green for the day. I could do that if I wanted, but that's not being transparent, and that's not, I want to show the highs and lows, especially if you're somebody who's trying to develop a strategy that works for you. There's going to be highs and lows, and I just want people to see that, you know. I didn't let the conversation earlier get to me because I've dealt with real trolls on my other channel, because I've talked about Dave Ramsey before. But yeah, this is just for me to be able to look back into later, because one day I'm going to show you guys all the journals that I've had over the past couple of years from trading, you know, but I just want to be able to look back at something versus just looking back at pieces of paper to just see my journey over time. That's kind of why my thumbnails are the way that they are, showing a red arrow, with red numbers if I'm negative for the day, and vice versa for positive days, so that I can go back on my journey and just look through my YouTube channel and look at all the red arrows and just me getting better over time, because this is not easy, especially trading the Nasdaq. I think I'm a psycho for doing this, but I'm doing it. But as far as Red Panda and Trenches, I hope you're still here. So I was in Ian Dunlap's course before he became famous. Okay. So before Earn Your Leisure and all that stuff, I was in his course. Okay. Matter of fact, I'll do you a solid if I can find it, just to show you. And this is why I tell people, like, this is nothing new to me, right? Is this it? That was when I was in his, let me see if it's in my other Gmail account, because that was when I was part of his stock club, but I've taken his course as well. Dang, I might have deleted that stuff. Let me see, because it only goes as far back at, there's a question from somebody in 2019. Let me see. Damn, what account was it in? It might have been in one of my other accounts, possibly. I don't know. I deleted a lot of stuff. But here you can see 2019. That's where that email comes from. But I'm pretty sure, because I was in his stock club in 2020. Here is my problem with him. Okay. First of all, I don't like when people say things and they do the total opposite. That's number one. Now, what I can say about Ian is that he's really good with stock picks. Like, if I can pull up my accounts, which I'll try to do in the meantime, since the market is not doing anything for me. The stocks that I bought when I was in his stock club, doing really well. So let's start here. I think I took his course first, me and a friend. I don't remember how much it was at the time, but it was not very expensive. And the reason why I was attracted to Ian Dunlap is because he's black, I'm black. It was a black man saying that he had these courses and had this stock club because his target audience was single women of color who were typically single mothers who were women of color, and he wanted it to be at a price point where these women could set themselves and their kids up for the future. Okay, that was his aim from day one. That's why his stuff was so cheap, and I could show proof that his stock club was $20 a month. Okay, and I'm about to do that to show. And it's not to say that you're supposed to keep things super cheap, when you make it, but when things make sense, it makes sense. You see that? $20. It was $20 a month for the stock club, because his aim again was single mothers and women of color. Okay. Now, once he started to take off, things changed. And I get, from a business aspect, look, I get certain things. However, when you say that this is what your target audience is and this is why you started doing XYZ, how do you completely change that once you get steam and you become popular? I don't like stuff like that. I don't. Because then, so it was for a year, it was $20 a month. So for an entire year, I paid $240 for these stock picks. And part of the stock club was you got picks every month. There was a little bit of education in there, like how to look at the charts of a stock and figure out where you should buy and sell, you know, things like that. So I like the fact that it came with education too, because it's kind of like having signals. I don't want anyone's signals, because if you die tomorrow, what is your signals going to do for me? Nothing. I need to learn. So I like the fact that he had the education piece in there. But it went from $240 for the year to, I think that's when it completely jumped up to like $5,000 per year. He might have had a $2,500 in there before he went to five, but I'm almost certain, and don't quote me, but I know the last time that I checked some years ago, it was $5,000. How do you go from $240 a year because you want to appeal to single people who don't have a lot of money to $5,000 a year? Now, by the time they pay, first of all, they don't have the $5,000, right? They don't. And by the time they do get the $5,000 to pay you, now they don't have any money to put into the stock market anyway. So it's pointless. And then all of a sudden, the target audience went from single women of color, single mothers, to ball players. Ball players didn't even know who you were a year prior, 2 years prior, 5 years prior, 10 years prior. And I admire his success. I admire his hustle. I admire all of that. But I don't like when people change up like that. And if you are really trying to help people that look like you, who are priced out of a lot of different areas in life or don't have the opportunities, don't create the opportunity. And then when you become big, you asking for more money than most of these people can even afford to give you. I don't like that. I don't. Now, when it comes to his actual sniper's course, I took that course, me and my friend. It came with like a morning live and things like that. What I can tell you personally, and this is no shade to him, this is the truth. And if my friend wasn't at work right now, I would call him so that you could hear him on the stream. And I probably still could call him. The strategy uses Bollinger Bands and I don't remember what time. It might have been on a 1 minute chart. I don't remember. But what we did not like was the fact that the risk to reward was super negative, like super negative. I think it was like a 16 or 20 tick stop loss for a 4 tick take profit. Hell no. And during the lives, he would call out certain trades, but honestly, most of the time he was calling out the trades after they happened, and it was always when it won. And he would say, okay, look back in the history, like inside of the course, he taught you the strategy. He told you to go in a 1 year time span, look at all the entries, But when it came to real time, it was not setting up that much. And most of the time when it set up, it was losing. And that's just my experience. But for me, the biggest thing with him is I just don't like how he switched up. Oh, and the third thing. So he had put out this promo at one point. I had missed it. Right? And I have the screenshot of this. So because me and him used to talk in DMs on I think it was Telegram at the time, you know, and everything, because I was a great student. I was asking questions and things like that. I was showing up every day pretty much. And so I had direct contact with him, right? And so when I saw that I missed it, I had commented on one of his posts on Instagram, and I was like, dang, I see that I missed the sale or something, whatever it was. And he was like, you get lifetime access forever to the stock club, right? You get lifetime access forever. Ask me, do I have lifetime access forever? I even sent his assistant at the time the screenshot, like, hey, where's the access? That this is what he said. I think I might have even inboxed him like, hey, when am I going to get access? I don't like people who overpromise and underdeliver or don't deliver at all. That kind of stuff pisses me off. I don't like shit like that, personally. A dude at my job was paying the $10K a year. I'm like, shit, but these guys at work making $160K at the top so they can afford it. And the fact that it's $10K a year is insane. It is insane. I could see if you're charging that for the ball players that are now looking at you and paying attention to you, you know, because they do have more money available and they probably would want you to be the person that manages different things, or, hey, I want you to contact my finance manager every month and tell him what's cool. But for I don't even care if you make $160,000 to pay somebody $10,000 for them to tell you some stock picks. It's crazy. Because first of all, by the time you take away how much you earn, like from a tax perspective, right? Now you down to about 100 and maybe 25, 130. 10% of that's $10,000 a year. That's 10% of your salary for a stock club. Like, no. Yeah, the promises, listen. One thing y'all will never ever see on my channel is me promising. The only thing I'll ever promise and not deliver on is if I tell you a video is coming. Like I was supposed to start the daily updates like weeks prior, and just different things like that. That's the only time. But if I say like, hey, I'm gonna do a giveaway at 100 subscribers, I will do that giveaway at 100 subscribers. I do not like people who lie, because most of the time I don't even feel like these people be forgetting stuff. I think they just freaking flat out lie. They just flat out lie. And I don't care how well my channel grows, because I know how to grow a channel. It's just a matter, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to be consistent, which I hope that I do. I am able to, because I quit on my other channel, but for me, like, it does not matter how big my channel grows. You guys will never see me change into a different person. I'm not, ever, because I've always been this person. If you go look at my other channel, I am the same exact person. It's just a little bit different because I'm live streaming. So you're able to see my personality a little bit more than a sit down video that I have to be a little bit polished on or things like that. But you will never see me being a different person. I can't do it. Like, I've had people ask me like, hey, when you become successful, are you going to teach? Probably not. I'm not going to lie to you. I probably will not, because I have so much experience in dealing with people. Like, I started in network marketing when I was like 21 or 22. I've reached the top of different comp plans. I've helped start a network marketing company. I've had traditional businesses. I just shut my credit repair business down in August because guess what? I was tired of servicing people. And when I shut down my credit repair business, people ask me, hey, are you going to do a DIY course? No. Because as much as it's do it yourself, people will still contact me. Hey, in lesson 1, module 2, you said XYZ. What am I supposed to do? Hey, it's DIY. Like, I got rid of my company to not do this. So for me, it's like, I don't know if I'll ever have a Discord. I don't know if I'll ever have a course. I don't know if I'll ever teach. I don't know any of these things, because the reality is, like, I'm just here to share my journey, build a community of other people who are transparent, who can talk about the wins, talk about the losses, and just who can have good conversation, right? I don't want to build a community of trolls. I don't want to have to do any of that. I'm quick to block people. I don't care. I can show you my Facebook block list now, or my block list on my other YouTube. Like, I just want to create a safe space for people to talk about trading and the other things. I don't mind people giving advice or giving their opinions. I don't mind any of that. However, I don't like super pushy people. Like, if I tell you that, like, hey, I'm not interested, like I've seen on hold on one second. I was just talking about my friend and he just texted me. Like, I was watching another YouTuber last week, and the guy came in clearly trying to promote himself. Hey, I'm not here to promote anything, but I'm just telling you, you want a free strategy? And the guy's like, nah, I'm good. Oh, well, are you sure you don't want a free strategy? Because I can give it to you. You'll just have to join my Discord. No, I'm good, bro. Like, chill out. And finally, I had to message, like, he clearly said no. Why are you being pushy? Like, now, if it's somebody in the chat that's asking you a question, hey, what strategy do you have? Hey, go for it. I personally don't care what anybody's strategy is. I don't care how they analyze the market. I don't care what charts they use. I don't care about none of that. The only thing I care about is that you're successful, however that is. There are people who are successful doing things I could never do, like not having a stop loss, and your stop loss for that trade is literally just the account. So it could be a fresh new account, and if you get into a trade, there's no stop loss, and if it stops you out, you lose the account. There are people who trade that way. I can't. There are people who trade with huge like negative risk to reward ratios. That's not what I want to do. I've been in the process of creating this strategy because I know so many scalpers have super negative risk to reward ratios, and my goal was to create a 1-to-1. Will I get stopped out to the tick sometimes? Absolutely. However, that's better than having a negative risk to reward ratio for me personally. It just is. Like, I just want to be consistent, which I think I can do as long as I could do live streams and the daily videos. I could be consistent with that. At some point, I am going to probably add a weekly video or add like a one-off video every couple of weeks, because I do have a lot of knowledge, even though I don't trade time-based charts, or I don't trade this, don't trade that. I have in the past, and I know that there are certain people looking for certain information that I have. I would teach from that perspective, but like to have a Discord or some kind of community like that and courses and stuff, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, I could never promise that. I don't care if you see me withdraw $1 million in a year. I still probably won't do it. And it's not to be selfish with my strategy or anything. It's just I've gotten away from so many people having access to me, and I'm kind of at peace, and I don't know if I ever want that peace to go away. As much as I want to help people, I don't know. But yeah, so sorry I went off on a tangent, but seeing Ian Dunlap's name just kind of like sent me off a little bit, because I've probably been holding that in for quite a bit. Again, I have nothing bad to say about him, like in particular, but I mean, the facts are the facts. You promised things, you did not give them, and you changed up on the very people who got you where you are. Like, 10K for anything is crazy. I don't care how many views you get on social media. I don't care about the EYL thing that you're on. Like, at the end of the day, you've priced out so many people, the very people who look like you, who can't even afford it, and you don't care, because all you care about is that ball players that hit you up here and there will be able to afford it. And I think that that's crazy. But yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I talked a lot more than I typically do, because I'm not a super talkative person, to be honest with you. But over time, that'll change, especially as we have more people in the chat for me to respond to and stuff. But negative day today. I have no feelings about it. Let me see. I want to look at, yeah, I should be okay. I mean, I feel like if we have the same like volatility that we had today, but better like pattern type movements tomorrow and Friday, that I should be able to at least get the accounts back to the initial balance. That's my goal. I mean, with the first 2 days kind of being crappy, I didn't really expect to have that great of a week anyway. Like, sometimes how you start is just how you finish, and hopefully maybe not, but we'll see. So I'll be putting out the daily recap video tonight, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your trading session, and I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Thanks for tuning in.